500 years ago, when Bajie was still an admiral in the heavenly realm, he encountered Chang'e, the goddess of the moon. Captivated, he pursued her but accidentally collided with a celestial maiden, who fell for him at first sight. Bajie continued to follow Chang'e into a secluded forest, only to witness her affair with the Jade Emperor. Furious, the Jade Emperor cast Bajie out of heaven. Initially, Bajie kept his human form, but the Jade Emperor's punishment went further, transforming him into a pig-like being. Years later, during his journey to the west with Tong Sanzong, Bajie came across a group of spider yaoguai bathing in the forest. Among them was the Celestial Maiden, now transformed into Violet Spider. She recognized Bajie, and they shared a night together. Afterward, Bajie rejoined his companions on their journey, but all the other spider spirits were killed by Wukong. Protected by Bajie, Violet Spider was left behind to live in the webbed hollow. I particularly love the background music in this scene, as the male and female vocals echo the story of these two characters. At the end of the video, I'll tell you what I felt listening to this song, but for now, let's continue.
My friend, struck gold.
Gold my ass! My bones are cracking from lugging this load. Step it up. You gotta catch that feast on time. Hear me out. They say that hag has her quirky ways.
Each season she'd wed a mate, then devour him.
Once our lady brought her a wedding gift, a mirror.
The past echo.
Which?
The past echo. The lady often speaks of it with regrets.
I wonder why. Let me finish, will you? The hag got the mirror and looked into it, and for no reason at all, she threw it away. That soured our lady's mood.
She stopped visiting since then.
Gibbering and jabbering. Couldn't even catch a wink of sleep this whole time.
What? Who's in there? How dare you spoil the gift from her who's
Because of Bajie's mercy years ago, Violet Spider's descendants still inhabit this region 500 years later. These two yaoguai mention how their master regularly offers tributes to the spider yaoguai, including a mirror called the past echo. This mirror reveals a person's true self, and when Violet Spider once looked into it, she threw it away with no reason. This mirror will reappear later in the story, serving as an important metaphor for Bajie and Violet Spider's relationship. At the entrance to the estate of the Jew, Bajie and Destin One disguise themselves as the yaoguai bringing the tribute. Bajie transforms because he suspects he'll encounter someone related to Violet Spider and wants to avoid facing this past. As the journey unfolds, we learn that Bajie has strong reasons to avoid confronting his feelings about this relationship.
Welcome, good sirs. The feast is all set. Please come in and be our guests.
My gentlemen, you're fashionably late. Is your lady not joining us again this time?
Our lady prefers not to be seen in the lower realm, but she's been thinking of you all and sent this small token. She hopes your lady will recover soon and pay her visit up there.
it's a pity she didn't come. Or she would certainly enjoy a splendid show we've prepared for her.
The dialogue from the second sister reveals that she was originally waiting for a lady from the higher realm. It might seem strange that, as a member of the low realm, she could expect regular tributes from someone of a higher standing. You might recall that in the New West, Yellowbrow led a powerful group of yaoguai and owned many magical treasures, yet he had no connections with anyone from the higher realm, ultimately being defeated as a mere low-realm monster. In contrast, these spider spirits, with just a house and a cave, managed to receive consistent gifts from a higher realm.
But now, the gift's gone and blood's been shed. I say, you two should take the fall.
We're just servants, madam. What's the jest?
Bajie. I know you find your look embarrassing, but why hide from my mother with another pig face?
Rude girl. Don't you know I'm a pious Buddhist? Give me your mother's name, and I'll check my list.
You heartless ass. After you ruined her house and her reputation, you're telling me you don't remember her?
Reputation? Yaoguais care about reputation. All she cared about was lust. Now I know. You're one of her spiderlings, aren't you?
The second sister waits in this place to lure Bajie into the cave, referencing the events between him and her mother from 500 years ago, urging Bajie to meet her. Upon hearing her mention her mother's reputation, Bajie immediately realizes her identity. However, since the player is present, Bajie can't just walk off to meet Violet Spider. Much has changed over the last 500 years, and rushing to lay down his weapons could put the Destined One in danger. On the other hand, if Bajie dismissed her claims entirely, the Destined One, with their formidable power, might just kill the second sister on the spot and destroy the cave. So Bajie cleverly sidesteps the issue by questioning her mother's so-called reputation, subtly denying her accusations while hinting to the Destined One that he does indeed have a complex history with the cave's inhabitants.
Well, well. Your rudeness is forgiven. Show some respect. Maybe I'll kindly pay your mother a visit.
In the Chinese version, Bajie even adds that if the second sister calls him uncle, he might consider meeting her mother, practically confirming his connection to them and subtly warning the Destined One to show restraint in battle. Our Destined One, a clever monkey, refrains from attacking further when they see the second sister struggling on the rooftop after defeat, waiting instead.
Visit or not, I'm afraid that is not your call.
Curse it! Bugs are bugs! Wearing human skin can't change your gross nature!
Yeah, sure. We are so low compared to you, a glorious admiral of the court. Ain't the last monkey still fresh in his grave? And here you are, another monkey's sidekick.
Cut your bullshit! Get your mother to beg for mercy, and maybe I'll spare your foolish life!
Truth is, the thing you seek is right here in the hollow. Flee now if you're too scared to come in.
After her defeat, the second sister says, "Ain't the last monkey still fresh in his grave?" and here you are again, another monkey intending to kill us all? Rather than taunting Bajie, she's asking if they've come with the same intent as Wukong did 500 years ago, aiming to exterminate them. In Chinese version, Bajie completely denies this, suggesting that if she brings her mother, they may even be spared. This response sharply contrasts the events 500 years prior when, alongside Wukong, Bajie mercilessly wiped out every spider spirit in the webbed hollow except for Violet Spider. Now, Bajie is subtly hinting that the player, though a monkey, is not the same as Wukong and that he intends to meet Violet Spider.
Scared my hoof! I'll destroy this rotten hole right now! Let's see where else you'd build your lair!
As we watch, Bajie loudly bluffs and charges into the cave, yet, tellingly, leaves it entirely intact, refraining from any damage. In fact, according to the profile, there are 4 adult spider sisters in total, each possessing strength at least equal to the second sister's, with the 4th sister potentially even more powerful. Yet, in the journey that follows, none of these sisters pose any further obstacles to the Destined One. After the second sister is defeated, the remaining sisters show no interest in engaging us directly. Even as we go about slaying their insect minions in the cave, they remain completely indifferent. This outcome is a result of the conversation between Bajie and the second sister. Since Bajie clarified that the Destined One is not here to exterminate them, they simply leave us be. After Bajie leaves, we jump alone into the cave and are promptly captured, or rather, gently caught by the Spider Sisters. But since they have no interest in the Destined One, we wake up unharmed on a bed within the cave, with antidote potions thoughtfully left by our bedside to prevent any poison effects from the fall. Such considerate sisters. Moving forward, we encounter the 4th sister near to lanterns chanting Big Day. In the Chinese version, they say Happy Wedding, clearly indicating that the Spider Sisters have prepared for a reunion between their mother and Bajie.
I heard there's a great treasure hidden within. You seem smart. Why don't you take a chance inside?
The 4th sister then invites us inside, hinting at the presence of a great treasure, and even praises us for being clever. Inside, we find several chests seemingly filled with valuable items. But why does she call us clever for finding such obvious treasures? There's only one explanation. These chests are not the real treasure. Instead, the true treasure lies in discovering the boss, Elder Murum, and the hidden truth behind its presence of discovery that indeed requires some clever thinking. The background of Elder Murum is convoluted, as even the Chinese version is cryptic, and a direct translation can be difficult to understand. I'll summarize the key points. Initially, a high realm deity cast the celestial eggs down into the mortal realm. Due to the scarcity of will in this world, both eggs ultimately failed to hatch. One egg was given to a sinner to consume, while the other was hidden and became Elder Murum. Every few days, Elder Murum produces insect eggs. Before these eggs hatch, they are force-fed to living humans, who then transform into yaoguai. If the insect eggs hatch successfully, they become ordinary murums, which then weave cocoons to entrap humans, although notably, they do not consume them. Once trapped in the cocoons, humans gradually mutate into powerful yaoguai with increased magical abilities. So, whether one consumes the insect eggs or becomes ensnared in the cocoons, they eventually transform into a yaoguai. But how does this relate to us? Why does the fourth sister share all this with the Destined One? It's because Elder Murum serves as the source of the entire yaoguai cycle in Web Hollow, a continuous, rapid production system for yaoguai. This raises the obvious question: what is the purpose of creating so many yaoguai? I'll delve into that shortly. As we reach the lower level, the Destined One once again encounters the fourth sister. She tries to remove a talisman, but fails. In Chinese tradition, talismans are often used to create barriers or seals, with the caster placing them at strategic points to confine yaoguai within.
This talisman. Those old rascals. On your feet already, are you? Best keep clear of this mess. It's for your own good. Go find the pig before it's too late.
Unless someone from the outside intervenes, the trapped yaoguai cannot break the seal themselves, which is why the talisman the fourth sister struggles with can be easily removed by us. She explains that what she's doing has no connection to Bajie and advises us to leave. This moment begins to reveal an underlying thread in Chapter 4's storyline, where we will simultaneously pursue Bajie's history with Violet's spider from 500 years ago and uncover what other secrets lie within this sealed cave. As we progress downward, we come across Bodhisattva's right hand hanging in place, holding a mirror. This mirror is reminiscent of the one mentioned at the beginning of Chapter 4, capable of revealing a person's true self. Violet's spider discarded this mirror deep within the cave, where it was picked up by Bodhisattva's right hand. This right hand was originally born from an insect egg, as we learn from its profile. The hand that plucked lotus from waters pristine. The lotus is a sacred symbol in Buddhism, typically associated with Buddhas, so this arm likely originates from a Buddha or Bodhisattva. The profile further explains that 100-die Daoist master used the Buddha's arm as a vessel for incubating insect eggs, resulting in the creation of this yaoguai. The Daoist master was pleased with the result, remarking that he had previously experimented with insect eggs on Purple Cloud Mountain, which had ended in failure. Experiments are usually conducted with specific goals, yet given that the Destined One can easily defeat Bodhisattva's right hand, it's clear that creating a powerful yaoguai was not the Daoist master's aim. What, then, was his true purpose? We will need to advance further to uncover this answer.
I've laid your path for you. But where will my path be? From now on, we're both on our own. Tell me, monkey, what's it like out there? Beyond these mountains?
From the four sisters' words in her attempts to break the seal, it's clear she and her sisters are trapped in this cave, unable to leave, and that she longs for freedom. Continuing our journey in the cave, we find Bajie, who's been dragged here for a wedding.
Shut it! Stupid thing. Faster!
Hurry, hurry! They're here!
So excited about the wedding. Been dreaming about yours.
You little brat. Dead. Come here.
Stop it! I take it back. Hey, look, the groom is here.
Apologies for keeping you waiting, sisters.
Wow, is he really the one Mother's been expecting? I thought he would look better.
He's not much to look at. But as long as Mother is happy.
Not much of a looker, but quite a fighter, though. Had to use Mother's ancestral vessel to take him down. Still aching.
Aren't you diligent? Such a rare catch. Why not let us sisters have it first?
Think before you talk. This is the one Mother is set on. One scratch. And none of us would like the results.
What would this marriage change? We are bound to this ill place one generation after another. Even you like this farce. Go. Go ahead and watch.
Sisters, the feast is yet to start. Don't tell me you're drunk already.
Right, he's nothing but Mother's meal. No need to make a big fuss over him. Here, he is all yours.
You've done great.
Wait. Mother has grown soft with age, and the girls are too young to know better. But can't you see it's all wrong?
Yes, but try to think from her position. We're her children. This is what we do.
But I am on her side. For decades, she's been tortured by her wound, all thanks to this dumb thing. And yet, she still wants to marry him. No! I can't do this anymore.
Love is not about forgiving or getting even. It is never a fair game. It's about two souls woven together by fate.
But
Neither of us was born then. We never witnessed her past. That's why we can't understand her obsession today.
Have you told Uncle?
Let's worry about that later. Though her joy is borrowed, it's still joy before it's returned. You, come with me. Ahead is Mother's chamber. Now listen carefully for your own good. Mother is usually nice. Only she prefers to dine alone. You wouldn't want to disturb her. And don't look at her in the face, especially her eyes.
Hurry, we are running out of time.
My words, keep them in mind.
Go, there's no time to waste. others up there haven't been kind to you. But you're with me now. Girls, let the feast begin!
As the Destined One chases after him, the camera deliberately lingers on the food on the table, showing that it remains untouched. This detail reveals that Bajie's wedding was interrupted before it could even begin.
What on earth? It was one merry night, and now she wants to take my life. You're following me like a shadow. Can't you do anything without me? Nitwit! Spare me this burden. Back! Stay back! I can't hold it anymore! It hurts. Keep off. Leave me alone.
Continuing our journey in the cave, we find Bajie, who's been dragged here for a wedding. After battling him, we follow him to a place where he first met Violet Spider 500 years ago.
Filthy monkey! Aren't you dead already? You're the one who ruined it all! This time, I am staying here. You won't make me leave again!
There's an interesting detail here. During the fight, Bajie sometimes transforms into a clay catfish, a nod to his original form when he first encountered her. At one point, Bajie even remarks, if it weren't for Wukong, they wouldn't all be dead. Once we defeat Bajie, our past echo mirror activates and floats over to him, revealing his original form as an admiral in heaven. Bajie comes to his senses, but is immediately captured. Here's something to think about: if the Spider Sisters wanted to kill us, they could have done it while we were unconscious in the cave. So why use Bajie to fight us? It suggests that killing us isn't their main goal. After all, if the sisters killed us, they'd have a hard time explaining it to Bajie, who would then continue his quest to revive Wukong. But Violet Spider's true aim is to keep Bajie by her side forever. Her plan was for Bajie to drive us away himself. If he could defeat or even kill Wukong's successor, he'd lose all reason and any right to revive Wukong. He'd also lose any chance of returning to his old role as a heavenly admiral. However, Violet Spider's plan fails because Bajie can't defeat us. After the fight, the mirror shows Bajie is still seen as a heavenly admiral, prompting Violet Spider to kidnap him herself and face us directly.
Why dredge up the past? Aren't we here now? Don't you remember how I spared your life when he asked me to clean up the rest of your sisters?
I do remember. And more than that, I even remember how I survived on my sister's flesh after you left.
That's not all on us. The culprit is that centipede. All would have lived if he didn't weigh my master's flesh over your lives.
Yes, he was blinded by greed. But he has repented and made his compensation. He even offered that thing to sustain my life. Otherwise, I'd never live to see you today.
My dear, is that true? That thing is in your hands.
Unbelievable. Even now, in your heart, the monkey still comes first.
The monkey? Nah, for me, beauty always comes first.
Good. Carry on with these nice words. Once I'm satisfied, I might lift my finger and tell you where to find it.
In the dialogue that follows, Bajie makes an obvious look-back gesture as he senses we're close by. He then raises his voice to the elderly Violet Spider.
You wicked hag! Can't you see your old face? Still obsessed with all this lovey-dovey crap at this age? Ridiculous!
Every day trapped in this hollow, I missed and dreamed, waiting for the day to eat you right after we mate, so I can heal.
Then eat!
It's as if he's hinting at their connection, making it clear for us. He even goes so far as to mention ceremony and vows, hinting at their relationship yet again.
Could have saved me from your stupid ceremony and vows! What a farce!
My appetite is lost, not just for you, but also for her.
Hideous! hideous spider who fathered such a thing. Your fate today has nothing to do with me. I had my mercy misplaced, that's all.
When Violet's spider releases her tiny spider creatures, Bajie blurts out, "Who fathered such a thing?" A strange and almost defensive comment. She never mentioned anything about the spider's father, so why bring it up? It's as though Bajie is telling us more than he means to, and instead of staying hidden, the destined one chooses to step forward, ready for a direct confrontation.
What took you so long? I almost died! Now go quick, this hag, and get me down!
Monkeys, the bane of my life. Why do you always have to ruin my plans? In what way am I any less than monkeys? This monkey that you love, I'll chop his heart, slice his liver, and make you eat them!
Once we do, Bajie's words in the English translation might sound aggressive as he says beat Violet's spider, but the original meaning is more about making her surrender without explicitly fighting her to the end.
Go after her! She has the relic! Go! I can take care of myself!
After defeating Violet's spider, the spider yaoguai in the cave lose control, causing chaos as we make our escape. Once again, we're saved by the fourth sister, who takes us to the Temple of Yellow Flowers. This temple, located above the webbed hollow, is the training ground for the ultimate boss of this chapter, the 100-eyed Daoist master. Interestingly, we encountered some new figures here, the Crane Immortal and the Supreme Inspector. Both originate from heaven, and according to their profiles, the Supreme Inspector, a person with a hand growing from his head, is like the Jade Emperor's personal KGB agent. We'll meet him again in Chapter 6.
Spare his life! Foul monkey! No matter how many times you reincarnate, you're still blind to the ways of this world. Now, in your folly, you've hindered the dealings of the court. But above that, you've given a girl who knows no limits of false hope. I shall transform her into a mighty golden pill and keep it safe for you. Think about her, won't you? Should you feel like stirring trouble in your next life?
The Crane Immortal, on the other hand, is the Jade Emperor's personal secretary, and by this point, he has captured the fourth sister, refining her into a pill. When he says, "We've given her a boundless false hope," it's easy to infer that the four sisters' false hope was actually freedom. She longed to leave this place, but it was sealed by heaven's barrier, effectively trapping her and her sisters. But why did heaven go to such lengths to imprison a few relatively weak spider yaoguai? The answer, hinted at by the fourth sister in Elder Morworm's lair, lies in the insect eggs. These sisters were bound here to guard these eggs, which could transform mortals into yaoguai. Once converted, these yaoguai were refined by the crane immortal into pills, which the gods could consume to prolong their lives. This entire system was meticulously designed by heaven. To fully grasp this, let's briefly discuss how immortality works for gods in Journey to the West. Similar to elves in The Lord of the Rings, gods can maintain their youth indefinitely. However, unlike elves, Chinese gods still face eventual natural death. Their lifespan has an endpoint, whether it's thousands or even tens of thousands of years. This looming mortality drives them to seek ways to extend their lives, making this a top priority. While Journey to the West mentions various rare foods and artifacts that grant longevity, these resources are tightly controlled by the upper echelons of the heavenly court. For ordinary gods facing the threat of eventual death, the Jade Emperor's wife, the Empress, was desperate for a solution. The Crane Immortal informed her that his refined pills could extend their lifespans, yet there was a catch. These pills required yaoguai as ingredients. Since it usually takes centuries, if not millennia, for an ordinary creature to cultivate the power needed to become a yaoguai, there was always a shortage of raw materials for his pills. However, if there was a way to mass-produce yaoguai, the Crane Immortal could mass-produce pills. With this in mind, the Empress commissioned the 100-eyed Daoist master to start an experiment, one that could potentially revolutionize the yaoguai to pill process and ultimately solve the longevity issue facing ordinary gods. The Bodhisattva's right hand was, in fact, the first success of 100-eyed Daoist master's experiment. By implanting an insect egg into it, he transformed it into a powerful yaoguai, much to his satisfaction. He remarks, "You may not be aware, but I once attempted a similar endeavor on Purple Cloud Mountain. Alas, the celestial eggs failed to hatch as intended, and I faced severe reprimand from our master. However, this time, I have come to realize that the celestial eggs bestowed upon us were not meant for lofty destinies to ascend. Creating yaoguai, on the other hand, is an ideal outcome." With this explanation, the master's intent becomes clear. He had tried this experiment twice, failing the first time but succeeding now. He discovered that if the insect egg found a suitable host, it could transform that host into a yaoguai. This process, if repeated with sufficient hosts, could mass-produce yaoguai and solve the scarcity of raw materials needed for Crane Immortal's pills. Outside Temple of Yellow Flowers, we encounter Yongjin's subordinate, Venom Daoist, who had initially helped us in our search for ways to defeat the 100-eyed Daoist master. However, he too falls under the spell of the insect eggs, losing his mind to their influence. After defeating him, he transports us to Purple Cloud Mountain to uncover the final answers.
I stepped into the sack for nothing but your sake. I'd appreciate a thank you, but you gave me torn arms. Now, in compensation, I'll claim yours! Find the needle on Purple Cloud Mountain.
On Purple Cloud Mountain, we first come across a massive serpent coiled in the trees. She explains that she once lived on the mountain peak with her husband until he was killed by the Scorpion Lord, who then drove her away.
Young master, I am but a widow. We lived in peace in our mountain, but out of nowhere they occupied us.
Further up the mountain, we meet the Scorpion Lord, who, according to his profile, is not aligned with the spider yaoguai, but rather came here with his sons, hoping to marry one of them off to a spider yaoguai. When his sons were rejected, he settled on the mountain, passing his days in drink and idleness.
Oh, the nerve! You fur-face, I meant to let you pass, but you chose to ruin my day! Now, face your doom.
Continuing onward, we eventually encounter Daoist me, and through his profile, we finally solve the last piece of the puzzle surrounding the pills.
It's been long since any soul has trodden these hidden bounds. Hail, young master. Your face is gaunt, complexion sallow. Both remind me of the venom's touch, as the worm also besets you. An oddity thrives here, the armor worm. Consuming its eggs grants great power. Yet once the larvae hatch, they devour your insides, leaving an undying husk. My fellow disciples, hungry for power, consumed those eggs. And now, most are beyond remedy. Young master, if you will, end their suffering in my stead. They were my fellows. I can't. Splendid. This is it. Vile and evil it is. Hence, I must bring it back for thorough study. Young master, in our brief acquaintance, you were kind enough to do me a favor. Why not extend your kindness by leaving your head with me? That would please my master greatly.
The hosts for these experiments were ordinary mortals from the human realm. According to the profile, many mortals came to Temple of Yellow Flowers, aspiring to become immortals. 100-eyed Daoist Master promised them that at the mountain peak, a celestial thread awaited, and climbing it would turn them into gods. However, before they could ascend, they were required to consume an insect egg.
A strong foe. Just what I need. You shall be my initial feast to power my metamorphosis ascension.
The moment they did, they rapidly transformed into yaoguai and climbed the celestial thread, only to become material for Crane Immortal's pills. Meanwhile, the spider yaoguai, tasked with guarding Elder Morwen to ensure a steady supply of insect eggs, remained bound to this place by heaven for generations.
These impudent mortals have overreached themselves. Their demise was of their own creation. But you are special. What poisoned them only strengthens you. Keep it close and wield it wisely. You'll see its potential. Go, release him. Being trapped there is a torment worse than death. I've watched him grow up. I cannot bring myself to do it.
There's much speculation about the Duskveil's true identity, but one thing is certain. Like the Bodhisattva's right hand, Hita was a subject in the Master's experiments, forced to consume an insect egg. However, due to his overwhelming strength, he became uncontrollable after transforming into a yaoguai, unable to be used as raw material for pills of failure in the Master's eyes.
All these years apart, and they've marred you like this. I journeyed from Mount Lee to delve into the mysteries of this valley. I didn't mean to hold this back from you. It was because I had to. I stayed my hand for my ties to his mother. That's why I called upon you. But how did you get this? I thought it was with the 100-eyed Guai. This may well be the design of destiny itself. I shall help you and restore its power. Consider this as my token of gratitude. Few strings dangling from the sky. No one knows whether they lead to weal or woe. Why does everyone vie to scale them?
With the needle in hand, the Destined One can finally confront the last boss of this chapter, the 100-eyed Daoist Master.
My vessel failed, but how?
When I saw him, I just couldn't. The Destined One then arrived and bested me. Now the monkey has ransacked our hollow.
A mere monkey showing such disrespect. Your wound was recovering. But now it's getting worse. Fear not, I'll deal with him. But before that thing of mine, do you still have it?
I do.
Despite all your failures, you led the Destined One here. I should reward you for that. But the thing I gave you, now I must have it back! You girls are far too young to comprehend my design. This, along with those relics inside him, shall free me of Kunlun's reign. Rest assured, darling, I'll avenge you. Now let go of your misery and rest in peace.
At the chapter's end, I'll hold back on further dissection of the so-called heaven experiments. This storyline is straightforward but obscured by fragmented clues. Instead, I want to touch on Bajie's complex relationship with Violet Spider and the symbolism behind the past deco mirror. Many may find Bajie's behavior here disappointing. He refuses to acknowledge his past with Violet Spider from 500 years ago and denies any connection with their child. However, let's consider his perspective. Centuries ago, Bajie and Wukong completed their journey westward and earned heaven's favor. Over those long years, Bajie developed a deep understanding of heaven, and Wukong's played far deeper than us, the Destined One. He saw firsthand that Wukong, despite committing no real transgression, was punished simply for wanting to reunite with his animal friends on Mount Waguo. This so-called rebellion led to the destruction of the mountain and Wukong's death. Given this reality, could Bajie return to the webbed hollow and live peacefully with Violet Spider? Heaven wouldn't allow it. Today's Mount Waguo and Wukong's plight could very well mirror tomorrow's fate for Bajie and the webbed hollow. Besides, Violet Spider's status as a yaoguai makes her even lower in the heaven's eyes. If Wukong couldn't protect his friends, how could Bajie protect Violet Spider? The past echo mirror holds truths both Bajie and Violet Spider refuse to face yet cannot escape. Violet Spider sees herself as a yaoguai who fell from grace for the sake of love, while Bajie sees the inescapable reality of his rank as a heavenly admiral, one he can neither deny nor evade. Some believe Bajie's awakening after the battle signifies a rediscovery of honor, but I see it differently. Bajie's awakening stems from his realization of his helpless position, facing his limitations and the unchangeable identity heaven has assigned him. This is why both he and Violet Spider angrily discard the mirror, rejecting its bitter truths. Finally, in the duet ending the animation, when the lyrics reach that in the next life, the male voice pleads, "I beg you, say no," while the female sings, "Please don't say no." This duet captures Bajie and Violet Spider's sentiments perfectly. Bajie feels guilty, believing their encounter ruined Violet Spider's life, and in another life, they'd have no chance. Meanwhile, Violet Spider's love remains unwavering, accepting her suffering as part of her devotion to him. Knowing all this, perhaps Bajie's final sigh now makes sense.
Or the sorrow, ephemeral original, told us that's false, that next life say no.
You haven't changed a bit. You fool.
Can't hold, won't hold, just let go.
That in next life,
I beg
please
you
don't
say, no.